we are hours away from the first votes being cast in the first-in-the-nation primary. The candidates pushing across the state trying to get any last-minute support.
And their final pitch to voters, live.
All his promises he's made, promises kept.
President Trump will soon take the stage here in Manchester, and thousands have lined up to hear him speak.
1 week system moves out and another rolls in on Tuesday. What to expect when you head out to vote tomorrow.
No one covers New Hampshire like we do. WMUR News 9 at 5 starts now.
And right now, the clock is ticking to the first ballots of the first-in-the-nation primary to be cast at midnight in Dixville Notch, Hart's Location, and Millsfield, New Hampshire.
And tonight, roads are blocked off and thousands of people are descending on the Queen City for President Trump's campaign rally at SNHU Arena.
Vice President Mike Pence will also be at that rally. Earlier, he visited the Roundabout Diner in Portsmouth.
Also happening right now, Democratic White House hopefuls and the one major Republican challenger to the president are trying to sway undecided voters and encourage their supporters to get out to the polls. And most of them will be making their final pitches to you live right here on WMUR.
Vice President Mike Pence arrived in New Hampshire several hours ago on Air Force 2 with Governor Chris Sununu. Pence first stopped at the Roundabout Diner in Portsmouth before heading to a Cops for Trump event in Portsmouth. Pence was joined by Sununu and President Trump's daughter Ivanka. He then made an off-the-record stop at the Airport Diner in Manchester. The Vice President will join President Trump for the primary eve rally at SNHU tonight at 7 o'clock. President Trump set to land at Manchester Boston Regional Airport just after 6. And we'll have President Trump's arrival live when it happens, and we'll stream his campaign rally live at SNHU online and on our mobile app. That's all scheduled to begin tonight at 7.
Senator Bernie Sanders just finished thanking a group of campaign volunteers in Hudson who have been out canvassing for him. WMUR's Charisse LeClaire is live with what he had to say. Charisse?
Well, Jen, Sanders kept it very brief earlier today, talking to his supporters for about 10 minutes. Now, he told that crowd today that in one day on Saturday, his canvassers had knocked on 20% of the doors in New Hampshire. He says that is key to the success of this campaign, supporters getting the word out to their friends. And he also criticized Mayor Pete Buttigieg and former Vice President Joe Biden.
One of the things that differentiates our campaign from other campaigns, my friend Mr. Buttigieg and my friend Joe Biden, they have dozens and dozens of billionaires contributing to their campaign. I think in both cases, they have more than 40 billionaires contributing.
Tonight at 7:30, he will host a concert rally from the campus of UNH. Live in Hudson, I'm Charisse LeClaire, WMUR News 9.
Former Mayor Pete Buttigieg has 3 rallies across the state today. WMUR's Gene Mackin live in Milford now, where supporters are gathering for one of those events. Gene?
And take a look at this. You can see voters lined up here outside Hampshire Hills Athletic Club, where they're waiting to get inside and meet Mayor Pete Buttigieg, former Mayor Pete Buttigieg, in about an hour from now. He kicked off his day at Plymouth State University, telling the crowd not to listen to other Democrats questioning his age or political experience. He says he can rally a wider base, a wider voting base to win.
We will be working together in a way that makes us proud. I don't believe that because I am young. I don't believe that as a matter of naivete. I believe that as a matter of experience. Having seen in a war zone what Americans can do to work together, having seen in my own city how a place left for dead can pick itself back up.
And from here, Buttigieg holds a rally tonight in Exeter. We are live in Milford tonight. Gene Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Tonight, we're giving the candidates a last chance to make their case to New Hampshire voters. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren declined our invitation, but these 10 other candidates accepted and will be making their final pitches to you. Hawaii Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard is our first candidate up. Congresswoman, your 1 minute starts now.
We need a nominee who will stand up to Trump, and I've proven that I can do that. He is not going to rattle me. I'm the first female combat veteran ever to run for the presidency. I've served as a soldier now for the last 17 years and deployed twice to the Middle East, where every day I was confronted with the possibility that death could come at any moment. So I have nothing to fear from Donald Trump. As a millennial, I bring a new generation of leadership with a fresh perspective, but with the background and experience that will enable me to turn that vision into a reality. I will not be handicapped by a lack of experience. Not only have I served as a soldier, but I've served in Congress for the last 7 years, focused on our nation's national security and foreign policy. So if you want someone who will stand up to Trump and who will unite our country and usher in a bright future for all Americans, I'd like to ask you for your vote. Aloha.
Congresswoman Gabbard, thank you very much. Former Vice President Joe Biden is making his final push in the Granite State today. He's already held events in Guilford and Salem. His final stop is about to get underway at St. George Greek Orthodox Cathedral in Manchester. And that's where WMUR's Monica Hernandez is live right now. Monica?
Well, Tom, doors are set to open here in less than 45 minutes now. It's the former vice president's final push before the first ballots in the nation are cast. And earlier this afternoon, Biden thanked volunteers at his campaign field office in Salem. He told them he feels good ahead of tomorrow's First in the Nation primary. Biden kicked off the day with a Get Out the Vote event in Guilford, where he said he's ready to on 6:15. Live in Manchester, Monica Hernandez, WMUR News 9.
Elizabeth Warren's campaign doesn't like to talk about polls, but some are showing Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg have put distance between themselves and the senator from Massachusetts. WMUR's Amy Cavino was live in Rochester tonight, where Warren spoke to more than 200 supporters.
Good evening to you, Jen. WMUR went one-on-one with Elizabeth Warren prior to her event here at the Opera House. She tells us that the selfie lines have been her favorite part of campaigning here in New Hampshire. Warren revved up the crowd by talking about ending corruption and restructuring government away from protecting the wealthy and connected. We asked Elizabeth Warren about her promise to wipe out student debt that is popular with her supporters, but has those who have already paid those bills skeptical.
Today, we have saddled 43 million Americans with student loan debt, and the consequence of that is holding back our economy.
Warren has a town hall this evening in Portsmouth. Now, coming up at 6 o'clock, we asked Elizabeth Warren if she supports the First in the Nation primary here in New Hampshire. Her reaction is mixed. We're live in Rochester this evening. Amy Cavino, WMUR News 9.
Man, the only major Republican candidate taking on President Trump in New Hampshire is former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld. He's live now with his final pitch to voters. And Governor Weld, your 1 minute starts right now.
Ladies and gentlemen of New Hampshire, I'm Bill Weld, and I'm running in the Republican primary for president because I think virtually nothing is getting done in Washington, D.C., at least nothing constructive. It's time for us to stop attacking each other and attack our problems and the main issues in Washington, D.C. We need to attack the trillion-dollar annual deficits. We need to attack climate change. We need to attack the human mess at our southern border. I was elected governor of Massachusetts twice, the first time with 50% of the vote, the second time with 71% of the vote, and I ushered in an era of good feeling by reaching across the aisle, and I had 4 Republican governors in a row after me. I could beat a left-wing, far-left Democrat in this election. I'm an economic conservative, the only one left in the Republican primary, and I respectfully ask for your vote in the Republican primary tomorrow. Thank you.
Governor Bill Weld, thank you. Okay, let's get a look outside. This morning, snow and rain, they're both moving out, but voters could be dealing with some unsettled weather tomorrow morning. Chief Meteorologist Mike Haddad is here now when you're watching that. But not necessarily the kind of day that's going to keep voters away.
No. As a matter of fact, if you're going to get out to the polls, maybe you wait another hour or two when the roads are a little bit better. But weather not really going to get in the way. Unless you are heading out early in the morning, you do notice the clouds beginning to break off to our north and west. And that means clearing does develop overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning. But there is a bit more energy back around, say, northern Kentucky into West Virginia. And the northern edge of that system will barely brush New Hampshire tomorrow morning. So while temperatures are above freezing and the roads are primarily wet right now, that may change up a little bit up until about, say, 8 or 9 tomorrow morning. That's when you may have to allow a few extra minutes heading out to work or heading to the polls to vote for primary Tuesday. By midday, a few mixed showers remain, but notice our temperatures, they're back at or above freezing, so no impact on the roads during that time. An improvement as we clear out in the early part of the evening, temperatures back near 32 degrees. There are plenty of changes that move in for the end of the week. We'll look at that coming up.
And coming up at 5, more final pitches from the presidential candidates.
Plus, we're following all the major presidential candidates across the state today. We'll have more on their stops and the last-minute push to voters.
Weeknights on MeTV.
There will be no shenanigans.
Watch MASH at 7. Andy at 8.
Barney, be serious.
Gomer Pyle at 9.
Look, that's mine.
And Green Acres at 9:30.
Oh, darling, I'm so glad you're not a nut.
You can find MeTV on Broadcast Channel 9.2 and on these providers.
Watch all your favorite classics right here on MeTV New Hampshire.